Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Real Talk Show. Glad to be here. Today we have an amazing set lined up for you. We'll be discussing the importance of family planning in preventing teen pregnancy. And this will be quite a dynamic topic as we'll discuss the significance of education around contraception and family planning methods, the role of parents and guardians in supporting their teen daughters, and access to family planning as a preventive method to teen pregnancy. This show will be supported, or I'll be supported by my amazing co-host, who I will allow to introduce herself and introduce the lovely guests we have ahead. Over to you, Malungo.
Thank you so much, Nigel. Hi, everybody. We are so glad to have you right here on the Real Talk Show. And I'm happy to have this amazing panel of guests because I know that we're going to have an amazing discussion with these faces that I'm seeing. And as usual, I think everybody knows I'm so biased. I'm happy that the panel has ladies. Hi, ladies. All right. So we are joined by Heaviness. We're joined by Natasha or Victoria. You can call her whichever you prefer. We are also joined by Monida. These are amazing people who have been around the health sector. They know so much about health, so they'll be here to give us all the information we need. So I'll allow Heaviness to introduce herself and just tell us a bit about who she is and what she does as we dive into our conversation. Hi, Heaviness.
Hello, my name is 𝗬𝗵𝗶 𝗙𝗶𝗆𝗆, and I'm a peer educator. At the moment, I'm not doing anything, and I'm just committed to peer education. Yeah, thank
All
you.
right, that's amazing. You are doing something. You're a peer educator. Okay, we'll hand it over to Victoria. Natasha, please clarify. Tell us which one we are going
Thank
with.
you so
But please, you
much.
can just tell us who you are and what you do.
All right, okay, thank you so much. My name is Natasha Victoria Nakanika. I work for the youth platform. I'm based in Choma as I work as a project officer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Natasha. Lastly, we'll have it from Manida. Just tell us a bit about yourself and what you do.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Monida Muya. I'm a registered nurse at Children's Hospital, and I'm a focal point person there, and also a trainer of trainers in adolescent health. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Monida, for that one. So, as we dive into our conversation, I think I'm going to hit Victoria first. Because rumors have been, I'm all about the rumors. So there have been rumors that you are actually running a campaign. Can you just tell us a bit about what that campaign is and how it's really connected to teenage pregnancies and, yeah, what we're talking about today?
All right. Thank you so much, Marungo, for the question. So, the campaign that we have is called the Youth Response Campaign. And this response campaign is for us to just ask the adolescents and young people on what are the challenges that young people are facing when it comes to, for in this case, challenges they have, and then what are the solutions that the young people have. So implementing our project, which is called the Youth-Led Advocacy Project. We want to have adolescents, youth-friendly driven solutions for the adolescents and young people, not just implementing solutions that are coming from stakeholders, but we want the adolescents themselves to be able to give us the solutions. So even as we are implementing on the ground, we're implementing solutions that are given to us or solutions that are adolescent driven. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
I feel it's amazing that you are giving the people who are going through those issues to actually drive solutions. Nigel, do you have anything to say about this? I feel like this is actually an amazing project.
It is. It's really lovely, at least during a time where we see as a continent how teenage pregnancy has become very rampant and how we have very poor family planning methods, so to say. So I'd like to shift this question over to Monida and ask her, from a healthcare perspective, what do you think are some of the most significant health risks associated with teenage pregnancies, both for the young mother and the baby that the family is planning, that family planning can help prevent? Over to you, Monida.
Okay, thank you so much for that question. Since we are looking at family planning and how it can prevent teenage pregnancies, we are not going to forget about the dangers of an adolescent or a teenager getting pregnant. So I'll start with the mother. We know that this person is an adolescent and a teenager. They are still young. They're also still developing. And some of their organs in the body are still not fully developed. And then imagine this teenager or this adolescent falls pregnant, meaning it's a burden already on the body. I'll give an example. You get maybe a 20-liter container, tell this 5-year-old to carry it. You know the weight that container is going to have on this girl. So when it comes to teenagers who fall pregnant, there are a lot of risks that comes with it. One of them, of course, they'll be depressed in the first place. We know when someone falls pregnant as an adolescent, there are a lot of issues that surround that. So having this adolescent who is pregnant, they can also be having issues of what we call preeclampsia. This is that high BPs throughout pregnancy. So when this adolescent has these high BPs, it can lead to what we call eclampsia. They might start fitting. Imagine this pregnant adolescent fitting. There are a lot of health outcomes, challenges that also affect the baby. And then during delivery, they can also have hemorrhage. They can have excessive bleeding. It's not properly handled, because we know that this adolescent is too young or this teenager is too young, it can lead to death. And then they are also malnourished. You know, you are young and then you are carrying this pregnancy, which requires you to have enough nutrients for both you and the baby. And you are young, you don't have that good self-will to make informed decisions at that time. So some adults, let me say, tend to be malnourished when they are pregnant. And then when we go to the baby, if this child is born from a malnourished mother, of course, they also have malnutrition as they are born. As they'll be growing up. The other thing that this baby will have, this baby can have what we call asphyxia, because we know that the lungs for this baby are not fully developed for them to sustain the oxygen levels when they are born. So many times they are born prematurely, and these babies are supported by the oxygen machines when they are born, which can lead to other health outcomes that can also lead to death. I think this is what I get. There are a lot of issues, but mainly these babies are not born healthy because they are born from someone who is also a baby. Hence, when they are born premature, they are also at risk to have other infections because their immunity is compromised at that stage.
Yes, those are a lot of risks. Those are a lot of risks. And for the fact that you're saying that they're actually more, you scared me just right there. Like, oh my God, those are a lot of risks. But it's good that family planning is there, because we know that we are able to fight some of these risks and just protect our adolescents from some of these. So, Happiness, are there any personal experiences that you would love to share in line with the use of family planning? Are there any personal experiences you feel you'd want to share?
Some personal experiences that I would share. Yes, I will just talk of my experience or what drove me to start family planning. When I just learned about, when I was just informed about family planning and reproductive health, I made a decision to say, I made a decision about my own life, my reproductive health, and my body, of course. So having
resources around to having resources around and information, I was able to control my reproductive health and as well as make an informed decision. Yes, I think that's all. Thank you.
So,
Okay.
just on that point, just to say that we're in a society where family planning is often criticized. Due to either religious backgrounds, there's a lot of myths and misconceptions about if you use family planning or such contraceptives, it can cause infertility. There are many cultural taboos, regardless of whichever country you are in across the continent. How was it different for you, and how can you encourage a young girl who is in a society where a lot of this backlash, a lot of this negativity towards family planning is? How would you demystify such effects, and how would you say it has had a positive impact towards your life?
Okay. When we talk of family planning, there are a lot of myths and misconceptions surrounding it. And even me at once, I believe that when you are taking family planning, when you get pregnant and have a baby, you have a baby with a big head. That's what those are some of the stories out there. But one thing I've noticed that promoting those myths and misconceptions, number one, it's because people don't have accurate information. They only, of course, they have information that there is family planning, but they don't have accurate information. So one thing I'll just encourage my peers out there and people in the communities is that it's important to have accurate information, because when you have correct and accurate information, when you have reliable information, you'll be able to make an informed decision. Yeah, I think that's all. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Heaviness. So I think, Nigel, while we are still on misconceptions, I think it's important for us to drive a question to Monida, her being a health personnel on this platform right now, on what are some of the family planning methods that are there, because I feel even in the family planning methods, there are a lot of misconceptions that people have, and there's information that's not accurate that people have. So could you just share with us what some of these types of family planning methods are there?
Okay, so for the family planning that we have here in Zambia, we've got the hormonal ones, the non-hormonal family planning. We've got the natural methods that people use. We've got the permanent so for the hormonal ones, this is where you find the pill that you take every day that's got estrogen and progesterone. So of course, their own direction, you take every day for a month, and then the ones for 2 months, we have the ones for 3 months, and then we've got implants that are hormonal for 5 years, 3 years, and then the non-hormonals, when it comes to IUDs, the hormonal ones. So, and then natural method, how to choose the of course, that's a natural. And then when it comes to the other methods, the emergency ones, this is where we advise this adolescent or a teenager who had an encounter, they had done protected sex, and emergency, this is something that you take every day. No wonder it's called emergency. You use it when it has happened. Of course, you use it within 72 hours. And then we've got the permanent ones where they they'll cut those the tubes that with the fallopian tubes, where the egg, when you release the egg, when a woman releases the egg that needs to be fertilized, the fallopian tubes, they'll cut them so that even when you release that egg, it will not go anywhere. For a man, they also cut some gaps whereby if you release, the sperm won't go anywhere, it just die off. So we educate them forms of planning. From there, they'll be able to come up with an informed decision. It's not our It's not our part to tell them which one they should go for. Of course, there's some other planning that advise certain adolescents depending on the health condition they have. When it comes to variety types of family planning, this is where we just give the full information on family planning, and then it's up to that adolescent or teenager to make an informed decision on which family planning to use. We also have the barrier one. This is where now condoms come in. So we tell them everything, we display, and then they'll be able to choose what they think can suit them.
Okay, thank you
Yes.
so much.
Thank you, Monida.
Okay.
Just to highlight the ones that you mentioned, the hormonal methods, non-hormonal ones, natural methods, and this is just to give a brief summary of some of the family planning methods, such as use of pills, there's IUDs, condoms, implants. Yeah, so we have a variety. It's just now based on education and what an individual decides to pick. Malungo, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. I had a follow-up question for Monida, looking at all those methods that she has given us right now. If I'm a young person, let's give an example. I'm a 15-year-old person who is sexually active right now, and I go to a health facility and I want to know what best family planning method I can use. Is there any possibility that you as a healthcare personnel can actually advise me on what you think is best for me, or it's just up to me to make my decision? How does it work exactly?
Okay, so you brought in the age.
Sorry, your mic is muted. Can you just unmute that?
Okay,
Okay.
you brought in the age of 15-year-old coming to the facility to get family planning. In the first
Yes.
place, the age of eligibility for teenagers or adolescents in Zambia to access family planning, if I'm not mistaken, is 16 years.
Okay.
That's when we can display those things. But if a 15-year-old comes and they're sexually active, I shouldn't chase them because already I know they are at risk. So what I can do, I'll give them information. I will not forget the issue of abstinence, because abstinence should also not miss. There are other adolescents who would come in view of getting a family planning, but if you bring in the issue of abstinence, you talk about the advantages of it. Some they end up changing their minds and go for it.
Thank you, Monida.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Thank you. And Malungo, just to bring this topic now on the way forward, we have policies and programs across various countries. Like for me in Kenya, you in Zambia, and I'm sure the African countries that are there, that have been there, that at least over the past decade have been developed. But are they really effective? Because they're there, but what's the effectiveness? And I would like to ask Victoria, what's the way forward based on such policies? How effective are they? Because we know how policies can be made just for the show, how they can be all big and grand. But now, when it comes to follow up plans, 3 years, 5 years, you find that either the government just steps back on the type of policy they pushed, or funding is cut and family planning methods that were being funded at maybe hospitals like free condoms are no longer there, and the project just becomes unsustainable. So, what do you think would be the way forward in order to ensure that such policies, such programs that are started are sustainable to run for a long time so that the impact is felt long term? Over to you, Victoria.
Thank you so much, Nigel. If I got your question correctly, are you trying to ask or say that what should we do if, for instance, family planning has, like, we have shortages in family planning in the country or whatnot? Sorry, I didn't get, my network is quite bad.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So there are
I think just just to help Victoria. Sorry, Nigel. Just to help Victoria.
Malungo has broken. Sorry, can you hear me? What I was saying is there are certain programs and policies that have been effective or that are already there, but the problem is sustainability. What do you think would be the best way for us to ensure these certain programs are sustainable long term? Because they're usually affected by poor government policies or poor government follow up or donor cuts. So, what do you think we can do to ensure that certain programs and policies are sustainable long term?
All right, okay, thank you so much. So when it comes to policies, I feel like policies are put in place in order to maintain a certain structure or to achieve certain things. But then, in as much as we have policies, there are advantages and disadvantages to the policies that we have. I can make mention or give an example of the response that Monida was talking about. Sorry, if a 15-year-old girl goes to access family planning because the policy says adolescent girls should access 16 and above. So those below tend to be like just given information, which is very good, but then looking at this person who's already like sexually active and whatnot. And then I would give an example also of the catchment area that we're working from. One of the schools, just first quarter of 2025, has recorded 31 pregnancies for not really those people in secondary, but primary school going children. So then that has just shown that sometimes policy has a disadvantage. So then how do we make sustainable solutions when it comes to funding and whatnot? I feel like the government is really doing so much, but then they can also just try to not really depend on like foreign aid funding so that we have all these commodities available. Maybe they can also tap into the constitutional development, the CDF funding, where they have like 20% or 10% of the funds going into like health. Not really. Yes, I know that the funding is also good. We can see a lot of development when it comes to building of school blocks, desks and whatnot. But also we can really channel that money to medications, prevention and whatnot. So I think that if we go that route, we will be able to maintain the sustainability, or then we will not have to just depend on the donor funding to wait for them to give us the money and stuff.
Absolutely. Thank you. Malungo, anything you'd like to add? I think Malungo's net is a bit down, but I'd like to move gears to heaviness. I guess since you interacted at least with this recently, but you'd find that when we're in high schools, most of the life skills lessons don't touch on teenage pregnancies and contraceptions. So how is it that you think we could change this so that we have comprehensive sexuality education in schools? And I'd like you to just give more by answering this question. Have you had conversations with your family, your family and friends about family planning? And what are some of the common questions or misunderstandings that come up? And how do you think you best address them based on your own experience? Because some of these things might not be discussed between students and teacher level, but amongst your peers, such things are discussed, and it's better to, at least if you have information amongst yourselves, to share little knowledge that you have to help one another. So, how do you think? What do you think are some of the questions, misunderstandings that come up, and how would you address them based on your own experience? Over to you, Evidence.
Okay. I guess you've asked on the questions that come up when interacting with family and friends.
Yes.
Am I right? Okay.
Yes.
Some of the questions that people may ask, especially family. The first question they'll ask if you because that one time I interacted with my parents, I asked them if I can access family planning, and the first question they asked me was, why are you going to access family planning? That was the first question they asked me, and for my fellow peers, uh, mostly they don't know how to go about it. They don't know where to access family planning, and they just don't have an idea. Of course, they know that there is family planning. So I feel we together, yes, as a nation and as Africa and as the globe at large, we could just uh, give out information to the parents, not only telling the youth, because you can't be hiding all the time. For instance, if you are using the hormonal pills, the pills that Madam Monida has mentioned, how are you going to be hiding them? What if your mom sees them? So it's okay to it's very important to have an open communication with the parents as healthcare providers, so that they may help in making in they may help their children in making informed decisions, and as well as for the peers, I feel it's important to give them enough information, accurate information that is reliable for them to make informed decisions. Of course, as Madam Monida has already stated that the healthcare providers are not there to make decisions for us, but they are there to just give us information. So when we get the information, then what do we do as peers? We make informed decisions either to take the family planning or not. So I feel it's important to give out information to the peers, and as well as making an open talk with the parents. Yes. Thank you.
Okay,
Can I
I feel like
also thank you so much.
the network
Can
cut
I
me
also
off on many conversations, but yes, Victoria, you can go on.
All right, okay. I just wanted to add to Naidu's question when he mentioned to say in schools, how do we make the information reach? So I just wanted to say that one of the interventions or activities that we do in schools is like health debates. So we come up with debate topics that are health related. For example, to say is teen pregnancy a girl's fault or a guy's fault, or sometimes like just health related questions that is making the adolescents and young people in schools do research, meaning when we come to the debate they are arguing, the other person is opposing if family planning is good or not. Then at the end of the day there is a fact sheet that is being read by the members of staff that is giving accurate information. So that is one of the innovative innovations that we've come up with, because when we go into the schools to teach about life skills, they will really say, no, don't go into deep detail about certain topics, but then if you allow the adolescents themselves to research, because they know they want to win, so by the end of the day you're impacting knowledge about family planning, or as well as teenage pregnancies, to the learner at large. So yeah, that is one of the ways that people can really do it, to really provide the accurate information.
I think that's actually a smart way to do it. It's very smart, because I feel like something that we research on it's very easy for us to know more and for it to stick in us, because we are the ones who are doing the researching and we are the ones who are coming up with the information. So when I just came back, I think I found Heaviness talking about the time that she talked about using contraceptives, and from the family she got this type of question. So I would love to ask around that. This question will go to Victoria, looking at how you guys are doing the youth response challenge. So these are some of the responses that you might get from youth, maybe. So what exactly do you think is the role of parents and guardians when it comes to family planning conversations or family planning in general? What do you think is the role of parents and guardians? Because I feel like whatever we do, we always get back to home. So what do you think is the role of our parents and guardians?
Okay, so the role of guidance is very important in as much as they think young people are not having sex. So I like examples. So I'll tell you about one incident that happened. So field, I like being in the field. So in the field, we were seated with parents and stuff like that. Then a question was asked to them to say, what would you do if you found your child with condoms or family planning in their bag or in their space or anywhere? Then this mother, an elderly woman, said, I would be very upset. I'll be shouting at this kid. Then the question was asked to say, so what happens when you shout? Is it that they'll stop, or no, they need to stop? But then we asked, so how many young people right now do you know that have been shouted at that have stopped? Then they said, none, because they continue. So we asked, so what is the best solution? Do you think shouting is the best solution, or do you feel like wouldn't you be proud to say my child, yes, is protecting themselves, is doing all those things? Then when you find out, is it possible that you sit down and ask them why? Because it's not only people will say, no, it's poverty that is making young people indulge in sexual activities, but ministers' children are there out indulging in sex. They have everything. They have everything provided for them. But then, what is it that is really the problem? So they then said, actually, now that you have said it like that, it has opened our eyes. It's important that mothers don't or fathers don't really shout or burst out of anger to talk to the young people. Instead, walk with them, ask them what is really the problem. If the young person, you've spoken to them, you give them the information, they still don't go with that information, then is it possible, can you work with them, help them in preventing themselves? So I feel like parents really play a vital role in this, because we may be scared of them, but behind their backs we're doing all sorts of things. But then if they come, they see, we tell them what it is that we want, how best we can do this, then we will see the reduction of teen pregnancies and HIV and stuff like that. Yeah.
No, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much,
Thank you.
Natasha.
Thank you so much, Victoria. It's been such an amazing, amazing, amazing session. This is a never-ending topic. It's a topic that's with us. It's a topic that will not leave us anytime soon as we continue interacting with family planning and its role in preventing teenage pregnancies. And just before we conclude, I just have a few questions for each of you as your personal reflection, and you'll answer it as a call to action. So I can start with Monida. What message would you share with a young person who's afraid to seek family planning support?
Okay. The message that I would love to share out there to a young person, where we are going, as in now, like Victoria was saying, a lot of young ones are sexually active. And the best thing we can do is not, as health personnel, we should not be judgmental. Of course, this thing always comes out. These young ones are scared maybe to come and access these services at our facilities because of maybe the attitude that we have. And we know that if we don't give them those services, whether we like it or not, they're going to indulge into sexual activities, which might endanger their lives. So I'd encourage a youth out there who is just hearing about this planning. Some of them, they just hear about this, but they don't have adequate information on what planning is, the types of family planning. So I would advise them to come to the facility and just learn what family planning offers they have at different facilities. Because in Zambia, every facility offers family planning. So they're able to each family planning, we tell them the negatives that might come with it, so that even as they are making that decision, they know that okay, this if it's maybe some family planning might go on so hearing from people might give you wrong information. So better you visit a health facility near your place and get the information from the people who are trained, because they are health workers who have been trained in family planning. They'll give you the accurate information. Even if you hear false information from someone, who would have gotten it from a health personnel who is trained, and they'll even tell you the risk, like I said, even the benefits, of course. So let them not just be hearing information from other people. No, it gives infertility and everything. Let them come to the facility where they'll get adequate information from the trained personnel. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for highlighting how young people shouldn't be afraid to reach out and approach health facilities in order for them to get accurate information. And over to you, Victoria. What can each of us do as individuals to support our peers and those who are younger than us in making informed choices? Sorry, go on.
Okay, thank you so much. So I really encourage each and every young person that is either sexually active or not sexually active. So if you're not sexually active, you can really continue being not sexually active, and it's nothing. There's nothing wrong with that. Even if we're in this era where everybody wants to, indulge in sexual activities, I feel like abstinence is still, the game changing thing. But then if you are sexually active, you can really seek support from different spaces. Like Monida has mentioned, you can go to the health facility or then see the adolescent focal point person. That's if you are comfortable. But then if you're not comfortable, the youth platform, we are always there. You can send us a DM, like you can send us a message on how best you'd like us to help. Then we really do come forth. And if you follow our page, we sometimes, like if you send us a question on how best you'd want to see or hear how other people are managing different situations, we do post on our social media anonymously to just involve different young people just to respond. And then so there are different platforms that you can do. You can send a message to the staff at the youth platform. That's if you are in any of the groups, because we have like provincial groups. So if you're in any of the groups and you feel like you need help, you can message the people there. So I think there are many ways that young people can really seek support. And I'm here if you want me personally, I'll be there to attend to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for highlighting how if your path is abstinence, stick to that path. But if you are sexually active, then you can reach out and go to a health facility, and also the youth platform is willing to, and you can reach us through our Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube platforms, as well as the groups that are there provincially. Then finally, heaviness. If you could change one thing about how family planning is handled in our society, what would it be?
If I would change something in our society, how
Yes.
family planning is handled, I think I would just change how the approach, how to give out the information and how to give out the services. I think that's one thing I would change, because most of the healthcare providers that we talk to or that we find in these healthcare service, in these healthcare, yes, in these clinics and hospitals, they are like they have a very bad approach. Like most of them are rude. Yes, I would say. I don't know if they are harsh or rude. I don't know. I don't even know the word I can use. And they're judgmental. Yes, they're judgmental. When you just enter to, like, when we just enter their office to ask about family planning, they'll be like, "Hey, at this age, you want family planning?" You know, like those kinds of stuff. So I can just change the approach of healthcare providers and how the services and information is being given to the youths especially. Yes, I think, yeah, that's all. There are a lot of things that I can change, but I think that's one thing that has stood up for me. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Evan.
Yeah, Niger, you're not
Very.
asking a question as well.
You know what?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I was asking if you're not asking me a question, but I don't need one right now. But right now, I would just want to pose a challenge to our viewers, those people who are watching us live right now. In the comment section, could you mention any place where you access family planning services, and that place that is friendly to you? So let me just rephrase that. Can you mention any place where you access friendly family health services in your area? So we'll be there to just look at that in the comment section so that we can be able to pinpoint which areas are really friendly and giving out these family planning services. And for those who don't know them, this will be your opportunity to actually know what those places are and where you can access them. So we've come to the end of our show. And before we end, I would love to thank the guests, the people who are here. Thank you for creating time to have this educative conversation with the youth. I would love to thank Nigel, our host on this show, for this amazing show that you have driven right here. I would also love to thank our partners, which are Action Aid Zambia. Would love to thank FIDA. Would also love to thank 𝗬𝗑𝗧, sorry. Would also love to thank Pinch Africa for making this possible for us, because without it, we're not even going to be on this platform right now. So thank you so much. And most importantly, thank you so much for the people who are here watching with us. But from us to you people right now, it's a bye-bye.
And thank you, Malungo. Thank you. Have a good.
Thank you.